Cricket Live and tweet into us. Use Star Sports India handle and we will keep you completely updated with what's going on social media, because I'm not the only one here. Dheeraj, what's happening?
When new owners, players, everyone is ready and so are we. This is where everyone will walk in to the auction hall and we will bring you all the action from the auctions as Vivo IPL 2020 begins now. And I'm not alone. Joining me is also Sanjana Ganeshan.
Arey, Dheeraj, I am inside the auction room, which is 100% ready for the start of the Vivo IPL 2020 auction. And you said it right, we are ready as well. Now, I have some insider information for you. Just last night at this very hotel, we spotted Brendan McCullum talking to none other than Shah Rukh Khan. So what was that conversation like? What did he say to the Kolkata Knight Riders think tank ahead of the auction? We will bring all the updates to you straight from here in Kolkata at the 2020 auction.
The stage is set. The big guns have arrived. The toughest 20 begins now. 8 teams looking to fill 73 spots to create that perfect winning combination.
We're sort of keen to get started. We've had enough mock auctions with ourselves, so now we need to do the real thing.
Middle order देख रहे हैं हम लोग और hopefully एक fast bowler.
So, but anything can happen in the auction. So, the think tanks are ready. Some big names are already there.
This will be my 10th auction. और is that एक word जो दिमाग में आता है वो है flexibility.
On the auction table, your wish list can go out of the window. You need to have options.
The suspense of auction is always very thrilling. So let's just hope for the best.
Others like MS Dhoni and Virat Kohli still find a way to make their presence felt.
He won't be at the table, no. But he will be in communication with us, which is good.
Vicky Ponting auctions में नहीं है, speed dial पर है मगर.
Simon and myself and Virat have been, we've had a number of meetings, so looking forward to getting his thoughts as things evolve.
It's the start of the Vivo IPL 2020 as the player auction gets underway.
This is the moment where championship teams are born. This is, the game plan before you step onto the battlefield, the Vivo IPL auction. We've got Ian Bishop and Sanjay Banga beside us as we take you through all the moments of this auction as we build up to it. Just under an hour ago, and Sanjay, you've sat in 3 auctions now. So we're hoping that Bishi gives us a little more insight as to the body language, as to all the secret strategies, everything that goes on. Because how would you strategize for an auction that will only be for this next season? Just for one season.
Yeah, just for one season. It means that you won't really invest too much into the future, but you would rather go in for experience and players who can make an immediate impact. Because a lot of managements are new, half of the managements are new, so they would want to leave an immediate impact on the team's results, and because of that I don't think there will be too much investment in the future, but they'll bank on experience quite a lot.
Speaking of players that can make an immediate impact, there are a couple of West Indian players in this auction that can very much do that. It's your first auction, witnessing the dynamism live for the first time.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, just having had the experience of so many ideas for myself before, to be here now to see, and a lot of people talk about auctions being almost half or more the battle of trying to win the actual IPL tournament, and those experienced players that you talk about. I want to see how the bidding for some of those guys, let's say Patrick Cummins, how that drive a price up and who wants to get their hands on it, because it's only a limited pool like here, and I said,
it is, and because it's all determined by demand and supply, and at the moment the fast bowlers are in demand, and what's going to be the key factor is that a lot of players are going to be available for the entire length of the tournament. So, unlike in the past, most of the fast bowlers were sort of, kept back by a lot of their respective countries, but here they are available for a full tournament, and that is entirely.
Our IPL winning captain like Gautam used to always tell us that you plan for the team for the year. Don't think about the future of building a team. Get the team that you want right now. And of course, he is joining us in the select dugout with another man who knows about winning titles. Looking forward to the Jetson in the dugout.
Thanks, Mati. Two men who have tasted a lot of success when it comes to the Vivo IPL. Real pleasure to be joined by Gautam Gambhir and also Tom Moody. Gentlemen, it is a huge day for all the teams, a huge day for all the players that are going under the hammer as well. But Gautam, what are nerves like on the morning of an auction? Because you've been on both sides of the fence when it comes to the auction. You've been a player, you've been part of the core group with the team as well. Take us back to when you were first picked up in the Vivo IPL. What was that morning like when the nerves were flying through?
I was very fortunate that I was traveling at that time, so I wasn't following the auction. But yes, it is very nervous to the players and it's more nervous to the franchise because your plans can actually go out of the window very quickly, and there could be a lot of panic that could be created on the table if you decide on certain players and suddenly they go out of budget or someone else picks them up and you don't have plan B or even plan C or D, because it's not only about plan B, it's about plan C and D as well. So suddenly you can create that panic and you end up giving more money to someone who you don't want just because you get desperate to pick someone in the auction. So you got to keep calm and you got to have a lot of plans under your belt.
Yeah, absolutely. As Gautam said, Tom, I mean, you've been there, you've won titles with this side. I mean, when your best laid plans don't quite go through, how do you go about going through the auction? Because there's a lot of research to be done. What is the knowledge base you come in with? Because it's almost impossible to have your eye on every single player that goes under the hammer, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you need to go in with a very open mind. You need to be very well planned, there's no question about that. But you need to go in with a very open mind, knowing that your preferred picks may not go your way. Because you need to balance a budget as well. So you need to make sure there's certain disciplines you're going to allow a certain amount of money towards, and you may want to be saving more money for whether it be domestic talent or a specific skill set with the overseas. So it's important you don't get driven away with the emotions of the auction, and stay focused on what your philosophy is going into the auction and stay true to that, and accept the fact that you might get option C and not option A, and that's just the way the auction works.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day that's going to pan out just soon enough, because sorry, Gautam,
just wanted to add, don't think what other teams are buying. Think about your own self, because sometimes you end up looking a lot at the other teams as well. Oh, some ex-player has gone to this franchise, he's become stronger, and you start getting panicked, you start getting desperate. So think about your franchise, think about your team, and just stay with that.
We call that list envy. You know, don't look at another list and think I'm envious of that. That's unfair. But concentrate on what your philosophy is all about.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to find out what the philosophies are, because 338 players are going under the hammer for those 73 slots. Let's give you what the auction is all about, because it's going to be a big day ahead. There are a total of 338 players on sale at the auction. 190 Indian players and 148 overseas names. And as usual, it's the teams that fared badly last year that have the most work to do. Kings 11 have the most money to spend, 42.7 crores and a maximum of 9 spots to fill. KKR don't have as much cash to splash, just over 35 crores, and they've got 11 vacancies, 2 more than Kings 11 Punjab. RCB released 12 Royal Challengers after last year's debacle. They have almost 28 crores to rebuild their overseas roster. The Royals let go of 11 players, and with almost 29 crores to spend, expect them to have a busy auction. Last year's finalists have the smallest purses, but they don't need very much either. CSK can buy 5 players, while Mumbai Indians can buy 7. Delhi Capitals have almost 28 crores available for 11 slots, so expect them to spend most of it on overseas players as well. And finally, the Sunrisers Hyderabad. They have a healthy purse of 17 crores and only 7 spots to spend it all on.
So let's begin with the team that always has a galaxy of stars but are yet to lift the trophy, yet to get the title, and that is RCB. They let go 12 players. They will be focusing on the overseas. We always know that they want to go for an overseas bowler. That will be in high demand for RCB.
that is taken. RCB are now out of the Vivo IPL.
After finishing last in Vivo IPL 2019, RCB have taken some tough decisions. Releasing 12 players, including 7 from overseas. Under new team director Mike Hesson, RCB will have to rebuild their bowling attack and buy some promising Indian talent.
It's probably more identifying the roles that we want people to play, and then obviously populating those with people that we think might fit the bill within the budget that we think we need.
Marcus Stoinis, Shimron Hetmeyer, Nathan Coulter-Nile, Colin de Grandhomme, Tim Southey, Heinrich Klaassen are amongst the overseas players who've left the team. Prayas Ray Burman, Kulwant Khijrolia, Himmat Singh, Milind Kumar are amongst the Indian players released. With 12 slots to fill, RCB have plenty to do at the Vivo IPL 2020 auction. And they have 27.9 crores to spend. After 12 IPL seasons, RCB are still searching for their first title. Can they make a strong start to their campaign at the Vivo IPL player auction?
To RCB, well done sir, thank you very much.
So let's talk about this RCB team. If we show you the squad, they always do end up having, gentlemen, those sort of, a very, very strong Indian core. Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, the batting revolves around him. You've kept Parthiv. You do have youngster Devdutt Padikkal. You could look to open the innings. And of course, you have Umesh Yadav, who's been in great form, and they know how to use him now, use all his overs up front, and Navdeep Saini. So you're particularly possibly looking for an overseas fast bowler. We know that Virat Kohli likes his fast bowlers. And are you looking for maybe like a Glenn Maxwell, like an outrageous finisher? Keeping in mind, gentlemen, that you have just under 30 crores, and these are big name, buys that you're looking forward to in the biggest squad to fill.
I mean, as far as I am concerned, they would probably limit their squad strength a bit. They would not really go beyond 20 players because of the amount of money that they have. But they'll opt for 5 or 6 quality overseas players, and that's where I feel that they can beef up their lower order batting. I don't think Virat Kohli will bat at the top. He will bat in the middle order. They want a player at number 5 or 6. Maybe, I don't know why they released Hetmeyer, but they could probably get him back in the auction, or get somebody like a David Miller, whose batting style is suited for a smallish ground like Bangalore. So I feel that slot in the middle order, and obviously the fast bowling department, because they have good quality fast bowlers as far as Indian bowling is concerned, Saini, Siraj and Umesh Yadav, but they would definitely want to have an overseas fast bowler as well.
Yeah, and just from that fast bowling point of view, having watched them and been a fan of RCB from almost the very inception, you want a particular fast bowler who you know what you will get from at the death, because they leak a lot of runs, and they have done in those last 5 overs. So it's not just having one, but having one that I know that Virat Kohli, whoever it is, can bank on down at the back end there. And yes, you also talk about if Kohli and de Villiers sort of don't fire towards the end, who else can come in to slot in and fill in that backup batting middle order?
True, and that's where the lower order becomes so very important, because they have some good batting depth in a Washington Sundar or a Moeen Ali if he plays, or even a Pawan Negi, because they have those players.
You have those Indian players.
So they have those Indian players there, but you require a foreign player, an established foreign player who can finish games, and that's where somebody like a Miller, he's played all his life for Kings 11 Punjab, and at times, just a shift in the franchise helps a bit, brings in a better atmosphere, fresh ideas, open mind. So I think he can be a good asset, and he's a left-hander as well, so they could break it up a bit.
It will be interesting though when Hetmeyer comes up in the auction for all the team with the current form that he's, to see exactly how RCB will go. But I tell you what, they've released a lot of players. They did release 12 of them, but the one they did not release was Mr. Nags. Mr. Nags still remains in RCB.
Peace. Hi guys, myself Mr. Nags. It's that time of the year. IPL, also called NEY, which is Nags Employment Yojana. I usually get employed by a team called Royal Challengers Bengaluru, and this year they were very unfair to me. They in fact almost sold me to Rajasthan. I'm very hurt, and to discuss this, I have with me Mr. Sanjeev Churiwala. What is your designation, sir? Manager, owner?
Well, you can say I'm the chairman for RCB, Royal Challengers Bangalore, the way we say.
Okay, Royal Challengers Bangalore is the chairman, very important position. We have with us Simon, the new coach. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel to be a part of the team that's not won an IPL ever?
It's very exciting because basically we've got a new challenge in front of us to bring home that first IPL title. So that's really exciting to be a part of that and trying to bring it home.
Mike, the responsibility is immense because we've had many uncles, like coach uncles, come for a season, stay for a reason and leave. You must be feeling a lot of pressure. This management is very... nobody is safe. Even me, I'm also not safe.
Yeah, I heard your bad news. I'm pleased you haven't got pink on today, so that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, very excited. As with Simon, we're a fresh broom, I guess, in many ways. So new ideas. Obviously worked hard with the management, with Virat as well. We obviously met last week and sharing lots of ideas. So I'm pretty sure we'll be here next year as well.
Well, you see, for a lot of fans, you guys are new, but they like the team, Royal Challengers Bangalore. We love the team, right? So our fans are obviously behind us, but there's another man who's behind us. Take a look at his private bedroom tape. Take a look, Virat Kohli.
Hi guys, a big hello to all the RCB fans, the bold army, from whom I've received so much love and affection over the years. And as you all know, for the upcoming season, the auction's coming up as well, and I want all of you to rally behind the team. The management group, Mike and Simon, are doing a tremendous job. We've had a few discussions to build a team around a strong core that we already have, and we assure you that we're going to cover all the bases that are required and build a very strong team to have a really good season in 2020. So, as I said, get behind the team, and your support has always been priceless for us and will be crucial forever and ever till we play this sport. So thank you very much, and looking forward to the auction. Find out what's going to happen on December 19.
Peace. Virat, you look sexy even after you've just woken up from bed, and you and I share the same distinction. Even I look very good. Gentlemen, firstly I want to understand this auction. Everybody is saying you guys are going to be buying and selling some great players. So tell me, what is the plan? Whom do you want to buy? Why do you want to buy?
First of all, another 1 hour to go for the auction. Mike needs a lot of money. Can I kind of sell you? If you permit me to do so, Mike, are you okay with that? Oh, great.
So I love Royal Challengers Bangalore. Please don't sell me. The fans will, go into a, tizzy, and I don't want any violence because of that. That's what my little thing to this franchise and the fans. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Mike, let me ask you this. You are with Star Sports. Did you join Star Sports just because you wanted a job with RCB, like a cross connection from there?
Of course. Yeah, you're very smart. You're putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with about 7, which is the way that we've got to operate today. So, look, it's obviously got a great betting, I guess, bed ground in terms of with Star Sport, getting to know lots of players domestically. So obviously we're in pretty good shape today.
Simon, how has your sightseeing in India been so far? Because I see you've been travelling everywhere in the country. Have you seen a lot of places? What has it been like?
Well, I've been to Mumbai and Bangalore and now Kolkata for the auction. I haven't quite seen the same amount of side Mushtaq games as the rest of our scouts and Mike. But
so you were watching cricket, you were not sightseeing?
No, not sightseeing at all. We were doing some cricket work. So that's what happens when you get a proper job. It's not like playing. You actually got to do some work.
Okay. So, Mr. Sanjeev, I want to ask you one question. 11 years have gone by.
Yeah.
Coaches have come, coaches have gone, team selection has happened, but somehow it's not worked for us. This year, what has changed?
I think a lot has changed, as you see over the last few months.
Yeah.
At least a great new leadership team with me.
Yeah, dikhaओ, jaldi dikhaओ. ये देखो, ये दोनों.
Mr. Nax still remains there,
constant.
All of us, right?
Yeah.
I think we have done a bit of a serious work around how we see the cricketing operations going on. A few months back, we sat down together, formulated a strategy, and we absolutely created an end-to-end cricket vertical headed by Mike. He's our director of cricketing operations, and that kind of brings in a lot of focus and attention as to how we look at our strategy as we go forward. Hopefully our fans would see something going live as they see the auction coming.
So in terms of batsmen, bowlers, all-rounders, how do you actually decide how many you want, whom you want, where you want?
Well, you look at roles that you need filled. So obviously last year it was pretty clear in terms of the areas we needed to improve on. So, Simon, myself, Virat, our scouting team started to identify and populate those holes. So, we know the ones we want. Obviously today at this auction you're going to see how many of those we actually get.
So there are three people here. Yes. You're the chairman, sir is the coach, you're the director. How do you all manage your own egos? Do you all sometimes kill each other, fight with each other?
I think we had our fair share of conversations, right? I hope you don't get into the room when we're fighting across, but I'm very happy that today when we get into the auction, we're very, very clear in our thinking and our strategy, and I'm happy that we had those kind of conversations.
Okay, great. Now hug each other, all of you. Give each other some warmth and energy. Yeah, just come closer. Let your heads butt into each other. Three men hugging each other. It's a great sight on sports TV, guys. Don't go any closer. Cut that. No, don't go. No, don't go.
Oh, good to know that Mr. Nags will keep us updated throughout the day as well. But look at that, the champions are in the house. Now, Mumbai Indians, what will they actually be thinking in this auction? They pretty much have everything covered, all the bases. Will they just go into this auction and say, just look at all the backups, because they were one of the teams that made one of the smartest trades with getting in Trent Bolt into this already scary looking lineup. So they just might sit back and observe. One team that can't do that is Kings 11. They're the team that have the biggest purse. They can be the team that says, all right, show me the money. Will they head into this auction saying, we are looking for a captain?
Kings 11 Punjab failed to qualify for the playoffs last season. And they've already begun making big changes for next year. Anil Kumble joins the squad as Director of Operations and Head Coach.
The idea was to have enough purse going into the auction to bring about a balance. So that's the reason that we have left out a few of the players from the squad. Ashwin did a great job a couple of years at Kings 11 as captain and player. We decided that we had to move on because it was mutual, and I wish Ashwin all the very best. Once we have the squad in place, it will be very apt that we choose the captain closer to that. Yes, there are names that we are thinking of, but then I'll let you know soon.
And with R. Ashwin gone, they will need a new captain as well. KXIP will enter the auction with the biggest purse. They have 42.7 crores to spend after releasing only 7 players. Sam Curran, last year's most expensive foreign player, has been released, along with Moises Enriques, Andrew Thai and David Miller. Among the Indians, KXIP have released mystery spinner Varun Chakravarti, the most expensive uncapped Indian player in last year's auction. With 9 Indians and 4 overseas slots to fill and plenty of money to spend, KXIP will look to rebuild their squad and find that match-winning combination.
Okay, Sanjay, let's talk about your former side here. Great Indian players. You've brought in someone as well like Kate Gotham. But are you looking at middle order batsmen? Are you looking at as an overseas captain? There are a couple in this auction, and pacers. I mean, what are the gaps you need to fill in? Particularly if you were sitting there right now, are you focusing on our captain, or do you already have one in that list?
I mean, the most important aspect as far as I am concerned for Kings 11 Punjab is that they are going in with the intention to spend all their money, because I remember the years I was with Kings 11, I was given a budget. You need to make a team within 42 crores, and that's where it became a limiting factor. But now with the gross revenue going up and the full purse available at the disposal of the head coach, I think it's a great thing for any coach to go in with that sort of a freedom. For them, I feel they need to probably have a backup for Chris Gayle. Evan Lewis fits that bill. They can look at Sheldon Cottrell, because he's somebody who can provide that left-hand angle, and they can look at Chris Morris. So if they can pick these, like one top-order backup batsman, they have Nicholas Pooran. They get in a Chris Morris or a Ben Cutting that looks after the number 5 or number 6 slot, and a fast bowler. So I think if they don't get Pat Cummins, because they are the most likely one to get Pat Cummins because of the number of money that they have, and that becomes a big factor, because then Pat Cummins is coming at the top, in the first or the second group. So I think they are well placed to get somebody like a Pat Cummins and beef up their fast bowling department.
So that kind of could just dictate the way the auction goes, especially when you have the purse. But do they already have a captain in that squad, or are you looking for one, Vish?
That's the thing that I wanted to ask Sanjay, because we talk about the overseas captains, and I know we've had discussions privately amongst ourselves over the years in the commentary box versus the local captain, the Indian captain, who would obviously know the infrastructure and local and domestic players much better. Where does that come down for you? Because we can look at an Aaron Finch, but then you have Ashwin there, who knows the scenery so much better.
I mean, the advantage of having an Indian captain is that because you tend to chop and change the team against every opponent, and every other day you're playing against a different set of opponents. So that's where the matchup becomes so very important, and that's where a foreign player may sit out. And if he's the captain of the team, then it becomes a little bit inflexible for the team management. So from that perspective, it's always good to have an Indian captain. And I feel, as far as Kings 11 is concerned, I would back somebody like a KL Rahul to lead the team, because he is somebody who is not new to pressure. He's played international cricket for 5 years. He's done really well for them. He's excelled for them as a batsman. So he's a ready-made candidate. And I don't think, because somebody like Ian Morgan, he has played at Kings 11. Aaron Finch has played at Kings 11. Whether they would want to go back to him, I am not so certain. So they would want to go in with the same captain who has played for them. So KL Rahul fits the bill.
Is he ready though? Is he immediately ready? Because we talked yesterday about Shreyas Iyer and how he came in after Gautam Gambhir, but it took him a season and a half to, even with his normal captaincy experience, to get a footing in. And now I think he's ready. But the immediacy of next season, how does that fit if you go for someone like a KL?
I mean, see, somebody like Rohit Sharma, when he led Mumbai Indians, it was midway through the season. He hadn't really led the team before that, till the time Ponting was leading the team. So these are experienced players. Shreyas Iyer, hardly any international experience till the time he was captain of an IPL team. So I think you learn on the job, and a lot of work outside the cricketing field is done by the coach, is done by the team management. So you don't really have to do a lot of work outside the field of game, but on the field, a lot of decisions, as also there are frequent breaks. So if at all a captain is sort of losing direction, the management always can come into those time offs, and
so there we go. We see the importance of these breaks. Huh?
And if he is again looking to keep this season, then that just gives him a great vantage point, doesn't it? So there you go. It'll be interesting to see just exactly how they do approach it, because they do have the biggest purse, Kings 11 Punjab, heading into this Vivo IPL auction. We're only getting started here. I can hear all the noise around me as things are being set up in that big auction room. What are the top stories that we are looking forward to today?
Legends of the game, team owners and BCCI bigwigs descend upon Kolkata. More than 300 players up for grabs, more than 200 crores to spend. We'll tell you all that you need to know about the Vivo IPL auction. Australian fast bowler Pat Cummins expected to break records. The spotlight on overseas fast bowlers, power hitters and young Indian players. Virat Kohli aims for a reset of RCB, and the man who built the New Zealand cricket team joins him to bring some method to the passion.
We've had a few discussions to build a team around a strong core that we already have, and we assure you that we're going to cover all the bases that are required and build a very strong team to have a really good season in 2020.
SRK arrives in Kolkata to wish KKR the best before the auction, as the team looks to rebuild after releasing key players.
All of the fans at Kolkata are one of the most passionate of any sporting city in the world, so it's going to be great to be back home.
The arch rivals share common ground. With less than 15 crores to spend and not many spots to fill, how will Rohit and Dhoni's teams approach the auction? Former India coach Anil Kumble returns to the Vivo IPL with the fattest wallet for Kings 11 Punjab. Will he end the auction feeling like a king?
Yeah, it's wonderful to be back in the IPL mix and amongst the players. Really looking forward to it.
Now, they may not have as big a purse as Kings 11 do, but Kolkata Knight Riders, they have 35.65 crore. And gentlemen, they got some work to do. Okay, they went on the form, the amazing blitzkrieg form of Andre Russell last season. So you go into this auction, do you need a backup for him? Because he can be injury prone. Is Sunil Narayan going to be opening? Because you've let go of Chris Lynn. Are you looking to get him back? And then, you know, your all-rounders, your pacers, an outright pacer, because you had issues with both Shivan Mawagi and Kamlesh Nagarkoti in injury. So there seems to, and you let go of Robin Uthappa. There seems to be a lot of work that needs to be done. What's a priority for KKR?
I think an opening batsman. If Narayan is probably going to be one of your options for me, but can you bank on him? There were times this past season where when they got on to pitches that did a bit and against teams with pace, they didn't use him right at the top there. Andre Russell also had his knee issues and his bowling was very limited. So he's a dynamic batsman, dynamic all-round player, but I think he wants some backup there. And obviously the goal where we will see one guy, a West Indian, and I'm sorry for talking about a West Indian, but talk about Kesrick Williams. And Kesrick Williams, for me, he flies under the radar. I think if you can get a good budget buy there, because his name doesn't pop up that often, but you know what you're getting 7 out of 10 days with that guy, where he bowls and what he can produce. So I think that those are 3 guys you can perhaps look at.
I think they're looking for a new captain. They want to buy a new captain.
Hang on, Dinesh Karthik is here though.
Possible, but you know, I mean, that doesn't really mean that he would lead the team. But Chris Lynn, they definitely want to buy back at a lower price, because he was bought at a very high price in the previous auction. But if they get a Morgan or a Finch, they might be open to the idea of having a new captain, and that will, you know, lessen the pressure on Dinesh Karthik a bit, because he never really seemed to flower since he's got the captaincy. He was a totally different player when he wasn't really leading the team, and I think they would be open to the idea of buying a captain from this auction.
It's okay, Sanjay, you can say it. We like statements like that. It makes it exciting, doesn't it, Vish? But exactly, it's a great insight from someone who's sat on that auction table and understands the strategies. So what are KKR thinking in their very own city?
We are in Kolkata, and from the Kolkata Knight Riders family, I have with me Abhishek Nair and Brendan McCullum. Brendan, first up, welcome. What are you most looking forward to now that you're part of the Kolkata Knight Riders family once again, but in a new capacity?
Well, it's great to be back. First and foremost, I've had 5 years with the KKR Knight Riders and also 3 years with Trinbago Knight Riders, so I certainly feel a part of the family, so it's going to be great to reconnect with all of the fans at Kolkata. One of the most passionate of any sporting city in the world, so it's going to be great to be back home and have all of their support. Looking forward to joining up with my support staff and friends, and also hopefully trying to build on what I think is a really strong squad. If we can firm up a couple of other areas, then I think we've got what could be the makings of a very, very good side.
Well, talking about that strong squad, you let go of some very experienced campaigners this year. What was the thought behind that?
Interesting question. Well, I think being the last year, we just felt that we needed a bit of change in the team, in the setup. A few players, like Baz said, that we felt could add more value to the team. I mean, these guys have been really good for us. Obviously, you look at the auction dynamics and look at what price we had them at. So yes, we let go of a few, but we're pretty sure that we will be able to get the right players in to make sure that we have a strong unit.
All right, getting the right players in. What is the kind of homework that has gone into preparation for this auction? How many hours have you clocked in so far?
Yeah, we've clocked up a few, haven't we, Harvey? We've clocked up a lot, actually. Not just us. We've got all of our think tank led by Srikanth, our analyst and chief tactician, I guess you'd call him. Well, he calls himself. But we've also we've got a really core group of guys who live and breathe the Knight Riders setup, really, who just want to see us do well. We're pretty confident that we've got some good targets, and hopefully we're able to pick up the people that we want, so that the current team and also DK as captain have the right resources to play with.
How interesting will it to see Baz sitting on that table? He was quite literally the Knight Rider that set set the Vivo IPL on fire in the inaugural season. So it's a different role for him. The teams, of course, they're making their way in right now, looking forward to getting some of their squads together. Some of them have a lot to work to do, like KKR, like teams like RCB, Kings 11 have the biggest purse heading into this Vivo IPL auction. Things are getting settled. It's all going to begin. The destinies are going to be decided, and we'll keep our coverage going. Stay with us.
Half tandoori chicken,
4 egg white, 10 kinds of chicken curries,
lentil soup,
chole kulche,
rumali roti,
tikha bhel.
beer hai?
Did you just burp on national television?
कभी कभी हमारा दुश्मन इतना स्ट्रांग होता है कि उसको हराना नामुमकिन लगता है।
बहुत जल्द गुलामी की वो रात शुरू हो जाएगी।
लेकिन नामुमकिन को मुमकिन करने वाले को तो सुपर हीरो कहते हैं। देखिए कैसे सुपर वी करेगा दुनिया के सबसे बड़े सुपर विलन का सामना।
Super V.
Now streaming on Hotstar.
Let's play.
Thanks so much for staying with us. It is a big day right now. The destinies of so many are quite literally hanging in the balance, and it all depends on how much money you're willing to spend. Kings 11 have the biggest purse heading into this Vivo IPL auction. The teams have made their way, or rather making their way. They're getting settled before the business begins. This is where you put championship sides together. We've asked some of you on social media to keep on tweeting to us. Use the hashtag Cricket Live, and I keep seeing the name Pat Cummins really doing the rounds. Will he be the flavor of this Vivo IPL? There are quite a few overseas players that will make for interesting bids this season.
146 overseas stars will go under the hammer at the Vivo IPL 2020 player auction. And we have our eye on these big five. Chris Lynn, bought for a massive 9.6 crores in 2018, but KKR released the Aussie opener even though he was their second highest run scorer last year. Lynn brings the aggression and muscle, and with some teams in need of a hard-hitting opener, Lynn's sanity could be in huge demand once again. After skipping Vivo IPL 2019, Glenn Maxwell returns to the auction. Maxwell had a disappointing season in 2018, but he brings flair and firepower to the table, and his ability to bowl off-spin is an added bonus. Expect the big show to be in high demand this time round. Speaking of explosive batsmen, Shimron Hetmyer is making a strong and timely statement. The 22-year-old West Indian was released by RCB ahead of the auction, but he is reminding teams what he's capable of with his current big hitting against India. Pat Cummins, another Aussie expected to go for big money. The ace of pace has been in great form for Australia this year, and he was Delhi's highest wicket taker the last time he played in the Vivo IPL. With Mitchell Stark not in the auction this time, Pat Cummins will be highly sought after. Sheldon Cottrell, fast, flamboyant and good enough to challenge King Kohli. The left-arm fast bowler from the West Indies could fetch a high price. Keep your eye on these Fab 5 at the Vivo IPL auction.
You expect it to be a bidding war for some of them without a doubt. It's no coincidence that you're here, Bish. There are a couple of West Indian players.
That's the only reason.
That's not the only reason you're here. But listen, obviously they hold a huge amount of interest, having just quite literally being in the middle of a series as well. So with Sheldon Cottrell, with Shimron Hetmeyer once again making a case for himself, and Kesrick Williams as mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, Sheldon, I know that he didn't go as well as he would have wanted to in that second one-day international, but that was one of the rare bad outings that I've seen from him, maybe in about 16 months. So you know, at least up front with that swing, and in the middle with his cutters, you know any team knows what they'll get. There's still, I think, a little bit of refining to be done at the death for him, because he's more of a cutter-type bowler as opposed to having a good Yorker in there. But with his experience, consistent. Kesrick Williams, again, I mentioned him before, I won't go there again. I think it's a good budget buy. Shimron is still, he had his RCB travails last season, so when he got dropped and he came back, I spoke to him personally, and he said he started to understand, and I think he signed off with a half century, but he said he started to understand now that there was more time to give himself, and I saw that coming into fruition. So whether Shea Hope then gets a look in there somewhere along the line as well, time will tell. But I think there's some really good options.
So Shimron Hetmeyer is an interesting case in point. So tell us, with your experience of sitting on the table now, last season a franchise paid a lot of money for him, it didn't go off. However, you've seen the kind of form he is in right now, this year, how well he's played spin. Does he again become one of those players that can get money in the bank this auction?
Maybe not to that extent, but he is a very, very useful player, and the flair and the aggressive mindset that he has, and such type of players are required in this format, because he does it in the one-day format, and T20 is a shorter format than the 50-over format, but he's somebody who's got a range of shots. He can, go over covers, because what happens nowadays in the middle overs, the off spinners or the leg spinners are not actually bowling anything which is in your stump line. They're bowling more wide of the off stump, fifth stump lines, and he's somebody who is not only looking to slog mid-wicket, he can go over covers, he can target the side screen, so he's got a range of shots, and against bowlers who sort of tend to bowl in back of length, he's got a wonderful pull shot as well. So I think he's a terrific buy. Shea Hope again, because he's somebody who can anchor the innings. Strategically, couple of the teams want their top order to be, very conservative till the 10th over. So I wouldn't be surprised if CSK look at Shea Hope, because knowing Dhoni's been playing after a long layoff, and if at all he gets injured, then they always have a Faf du Plessis to lead, but whether they have an experienced batter who can, bat on those slow turning tracks in Chennai, so Shea Hope can do that. But for me, the best West Indian in this auction is Sheldon Cottrell by far, because the way he bowled, even in the World Cup, Bish, I think he was very, very impressive. He's got a quick short ball, and I remember in this series as well, one bouncer that he bowled, I mean, it just flew past the wicketkeeper. So he's got pace. He can bowl at the death because he's got those cutters, and if he can come round the wicket and bowl those Yorkers wherein he can develop that sort of a ball, so he becomes a complete package. So I would be sitting and analyzing. I think 3 or 4 teams are looking at it. So he's going to be
so basically he's telling
big
us
paycheck, 4.5 crores. 4.5 crores.
You're saying it now? Yeah, I see. I love the way we don't even ask for predictions; they just give it to us now. This is the connection that you have with the analyst sitting. But yes, if there will be a bidding war for Sheldon Cottrell, which you can understand, there are a couple of Australian players in the mix as well that could start the same. And guess what? We've got some Aussies in our select dugout that are looking forward to that.
Yeah, thanks, Mayanti. There's a real Aussie flavour about the auctions this time around, and therefore there's an Aussie flavour in the dugout as well. Welcome, Dean Jones. Welcome, Tom Moody. This is going to be a big day for a lot of the teams, but let's just focus on the Aussie talent on display. Glenn Maxwell, a big one to look out for, because a lot of teams looking for a finisher. He's someone that can actually float up and down the order, but he's also that overseas impact player.
Absolutely, he's a match winner, as simple as that. He gives you all 3 disciplines. He's brilliant with the bat, with a very, very high strike rate. He's also a match winner in the field. You've got to remember that. That's such an important aspect. And he can lend you a few overs with the ball. You can't guarantee 4 overs from him, but he can certainly, on a good day, give you 3, on the odd occasion 4.
Yeah, Dino, he's had a bit of time off. Maybe helps him because he's probably raring to go. How much do you think he's going to go for? Who do you think will be looking for him most?
I think Rajasthan will look at him. They probably need a middle order of batter in there. RCB is probably another one. I'd probably look at maybe minimum 3 to 4 crore. Will go. It might go well over that. Match winner, as Big Tom said. Let's not forget what he does in the field. He changes momentum in games, and he can actually win you a tournament. Let's not forget, I think he was the player of the tournament back in 2014, 15, and he should have won the player of the tournament there. But he's seriously a good player. Had an enforced break, and I'll be thinking he'd be ready and fresh, raring to go.
Yeah, he'll be ready to go. Plenty of interest around Maxwell, but plenty of hype around another Aussie. Cummins has been in sensational form with the ball. He's probably in the best form of his life. He comes in red hot and is going to be hot property, don't you think? Hottest property for you, Tom?
I think he's the number one ticket. There's no doubt about that. So there's going to be a lot of hype. There's a number of teams that will be interested in him. That's why he's a hot price, because it's different when you get a player that is a good player, but only 2 or 3 franchises are interested. I think most of the franchises at the auction today will be interested in Pat Cummins because, as you said, he's in red hot form, but he's a match winner. And you know, at the top end during power play overs, he can take wickets, and he also can finish games for you.
Yeah, he's also got that experience in the leadership community of the Aussie squad. You know, you said 3-4 crores for Glenn Maxwell. Where do you think Pat Cummins is going to end up, and who do you think will have their eye on him most?
Gee, I think everyone's going to have their eye on him. The complete package. Like as Tommy said, great at the power play, great at the death. Now, Tommy and I have a very similar. We've looked very similar. The only reason the difference is my jacket and his glasses. That's the difference between both of us at the moment. Everyone thinks I'm him and him me. But I'll have to say straight away that, look, he is one player I think will be sorted after. I feel he'll go for around about 10 or 11 crore. I think like RCB, if they want to win this tournament, Tom and I believe bowlers win your tournaments, and I reckon he's the guy that they'll go to straight away. I wouldn't be surprised if RCB went over the top.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of interest around this, man. Remember, you can continue to watch both these men on the dugout, but for now, Mayanti, it's back to you.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Sohail. Well, there you go. Teams still making their way inside. They just about would have got settled by now, actually, and I'm sure they've already discussed the auction strategy. So, look, it's not some of the overseas players as well. There's some big Indian players that will be in this Vivo IPL auction as well. For example, someone like Robin Uthappa, who has tremendous experience in T20s overall, a T20 World Cup winner. No longer with Kolkata Knight Riders. Will they go back to him, or will he be wearing different colours?
The most expensive Indian player in the last 2 auctions, Jaydev Unadkat, is set to go under the hammer once again. Unadkat was released by Rajasthan Royals after a disappointing 2019 season, but the left-arm fast bowler had a timely return to form in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. With form on his side, will Unadkat be the most expensive Indian for the 3rd year in a row? After 6 seasons with Kolkata Knight Riders, Robin Uthappa was released ahead of the auction. The Orange Cap winner in KKR's title-winning season in 2014, Uthappa had a poor season in 2019. But the 34-year-old has lots of experience, and Indian batsmen are usually in high demand at the auction. Along with Uthappa, KKR also released Piyush Chawla after last season's unsuccessful campaign. The leg spinner took only 10 wickets in 13 matches in Vivo IPL 2019. But Chawla is the 4th highest wicket taker in the Vivo IPL, and there should be plenty of takers for his experience. Speaking of experience, 37-year-old Yusuf Pathan is also up for sale. Bought by the Sunrisers for 1.9 crore in 2018, Yusuf is a 3-time IPL champion. A big-hitting middle-order batsman who can bowl a few overs. Keep an eye on the old warhorse.
So So plenty of experience there in the players that have just been mentioned. But I think Robin Uthappa makes a very intriguing case because he brings with him so many abilities. He can be a leader for you. He's flexible, batted in the top. He can battle in middle order. Would RCB looking at him, Bangalore boy, would KKR look to go back? Is there another team that needs a player with the experience of Robin?
I don't think KKR are going back to Robin, because purely for the reason is that the way he was used last season, wherein he wasn't really given one position to bat at, he was up and down the order, and you could see that it sort of started to hurt him, his confidence, his rhythm as far as batting was concerned. So I don't think KKR are going to go back to him. But there are two teams which may show a lot of interest in him. RCB, they want somebody who can keep and also have a backup for Parthiv Patel, because Parthiv Patel has done well, but he hasn't really gone on and won a cricket match by himself. So he would definitely want to have Robin Uthappa as an experienced hand. He can guide, he can play along with Virat or AB de Villiers and contribute towards finishing matches. And Rajasthan Royals, by letting go of Rahul Tripathi, by letting go of Ajinkya Rahane, so they are also in need of a top order batsman. So I think those two teams might gun for Robin Uthappa.
Nice fit.
I have no problem with Robin. I've admired Robin over the years. I was a little disappointed with the way things played out at KKR this year. There were a couple of key games where he seemed to got stuck while he was batting, and you talked about his positioning in the team. He just couldn't get his tempo going, and that sort of spilled over in the dressing room. But if he went back to the side, Mushtaq Ali, and he got runs, someone like an RCB where Mike Heston is a good man manager, I think psychologically ensuring he's right there mentally and technically, I think he could be a good buy.
But it's not just players with reputation, it's the players who come into this auction with everything to gain. And these are the sort of auctions that can define the lives for uncapped players. This is where you really focus on tournaments like the Syed Mushtaq Ali to see what some of these youngsters have been doing. Here are some of the uncapped players that could make waves in this Vivo IPL auction.
At every Vivo IPL auction, some uncapped Indian players get bought for life-changing amounts of money. So who are the teams likely to be fighting over this year? Here are three promising prospects. "17-year-old Yashasvi Jaiswal. The teenager from Mumbai made history by becoming the youngest batsman to score a double century in List A cricket. Jaiswal has not yet made his domestic T20 debut, but he averaged more than 100 at a strike rate of more than a run a ball in the recent Vijay Hazare Trophy. With teams always on the hunt for young Indian batsmen, Jaiswal could be one to watch at the auction. Sai Kishore, a 23-year-old left-arm spinner from Tamil Nadu. A power play specialist, Sai Kishore has outstanding numbers in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. He was the leading wicket-taker in the tournament and had a superb economy rate of just 4.6 per over. Could this Chennai boy become a super king this year? Virat Singh, a 22-year-old middle-order batsman from Jharkhand. Like his famous namesake, Virat has also been part of India's under-19 team, playing alongside the likes of Rishabh Pant. Virat was impressive in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, smashing nearly 350 runs at an average of 57 and a strike rate of 142. With several teams in the market for Indian batting talent, could we see Virat batting alongside Virat in Vivo IPL 2020?
Okay, let's ask the man who's done it before with the uncapped player in the auction. Now, some of these names, for example, Yashasvi, what are the teams thinking? Are they looking to go big for players like this?
Well, some of them will get picked, but they won't really be high-priced players, because the franchise will not tend to invest in a lot in younger players. They will look to go for experienced players. They will look to, save money for experienced players, and they will look to players who produce results. So somebody like a Yashasvi Jaiswal, definitely Mumbai Indians would want to have him as a backup opener. Sai Kishore, teams which do not have a left-arm spinning options, KKR do not have a left-arm spinning option, and Rajasthan Royal do not really have a left-arm spinning option.
Well, it's intriguing every time these uncapped players do come out, because it's about putting that, team together. But listen, we're going to be with you throughout the entire day. We'll be getting you immediate results and reactions as the Vivo IPL auction begins.
आकर्ष का आकर्ष के स्कार्फ पर ही बाल में highlighted from him. I've just been thinking that he's having an affair.
Now streaming on Hotstar.
मेरी गुड़िया, मेरी अवी मुझसे एक पल भी दूर नहीं रह सकती. मुझसे मेरी गुड़िया, चाहे मेरी मौत ने छीन ली, पर मैं उसकी गुड़िया बनकर हमेशा उसके साथ रहूंगी.
इतनी चिंता और किसी सताएगी, एक माँ ही है जो मरकर भी लौट आएगी. मेरी गुड़िया.
Coming soon on Hotstar.
आज राजा का बेटा राजा नहीं बनेगा, राजा वो ही बनेगा जो हकदार होगा.
You are a genius.
April of 2008 saw the emergence of a revolution in the world of cricket. The emergence of a juggernaut that took the sporting world by storm.
What a start to this Indian Premier League.
A juggernaut that is only gathering pace with the passage of time. The best of the best, playing with and against each other. Stars and stars in the making, locking horns to create an unmatched spectacle. Fueled by the unhinged passion of the fans, the IPL took off from the very outset. The finest cricket talent from India and across the world have over the years put together a spectacle that is unrivaled in the cricket world.
That's gone for another mighty six. What a catch!
Come the Indian summer, the frenzy, the pulsating energy, the festive cheer of this grandiose celebration of cricket can be felt in the air. A celebration that is much anticipated year after year. After a spectacular first decade, the IPL delivered last year what many termed the best IPL ever. The year 2020 is round the corner, a year with special significance as a format of cricket gets the year to match it. The on-field battles are eagerly awaited, but there is another battle to be won before that. A battle of minds, of nerves, of patience. A battle of strategy that is about to be played out as the best of the best go under the hammer. So, may the mind games begin. Welcome one and all to the Vivo IPL 2020 Player Auction.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the BCCI, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to each one of you in this room and to all of you tuning in across India and the world to the 2020 Vivo IPL Player Auction. I would like to welcome Mr. Saurav Ganguly, Honorary President of the BCCI, Mr. Mahim Verma, Vice President BCCI, Mr. Jay Shah, Honorary Secretary BCCI, Mr. Arun Singh Dumal, Honorary Treasurer of the BCCI, Mr. Jayesh George, Joint Secretary BCCI, Mr. Kairul Majumdar, Member IPL Governing Council, Mr. Surendra Khanna, Member IPL Governing Council, Mr. Gautam Thakkar, Chief Executive Officer, Star Sports, Jerome Chen, Chief Executive Officer, Vivo India, Mr. Vikrant Mudliar, Chief Marketing Officer, Dream 11, Mr. Leon Liu, Chief Marketing Officer, Vivo India. The IPL is known throughout the world as one of the premier sporting leagues, and the BCCI is grateful to all our stakeholders, including our title sponsor, Vivo, our broadcasters, Star and Hotstar, and our partners, Tata Motors, Future Group, Dream 11, Paytm, and Seat Tires for their support. Most importantly, we are grateful to all our franchises for their commitment to the league and their contribution to its growth and success. We would also like to thank all the IPL fans whose unwavering support has ensured the success of the league. We acknowledge each one of you, and it is our aim to continue to deliver a world-class league for you to be part of. Whether you are attending a match at one of the IPL stadiums, watching at home, or attending one of the many IPL fan parks. The 2020 IPL player auction has seen over 998 players register their interest in participating in the next IPL season. 338 of these players have been shortlisted to be presented for the 73 slots available in today's auction. As the IPL continues to support the growth and the development of many young Indian cricketers, we are delighted to see 175 uncapped Indian players in today's shortlist, 8 of whom are in the current Indian under-19 squad. They will join the 15 capped Indian players and 148 overseas players available to the franchises. I am sure you will join me in looking forward to the outcome of this auction, and as the franchises add additional talent to their squads and to seeing them in action in the 2020 IPL season. Thank you. I would now like to introduce and hand over to our auctioneer, Hugh Edmees, to start the auction. Thank you.
Thank you, Pradesh. Good afternoon, everybody. And again, I'd like to repeat my own personal welcome to you all here in Calcutta, and also to all the fans watching at home, in your offices, in your shops, wherever you are in the world. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy today's auction, and I hope the competition is as exciting as this year's final was. So good luck to you all. There will be short breaks after sets 2, after set 5, and after set 10. Then at the completion of set 13, we will have high tea for about an hour, and then we will proceed with the accelerated auction. And now, Pradesh, can I ask you to help me with the first set? And the first name out of the bag is number 2, Chris Lynn. Chris Lynn is the first one I offer you today, and I've got a bid straight away at 200 lakh. Thank you, sir. 200 lakh is the opening bid. Any advance at 200 for Chris Lynn? 200 is the selling bid there at 200 lakh. Any advance at 200? Here with the Mumbai Indians at 200. Are you sure you're all done with Mr. Lynn? At 200 lakh, I will sell for that opening bid, if there's no further, at 200. It's going to go at 200 with just one bid. For 200 lakh, round the room I go at 200. For you, sir, thank you very much. 200 to the Mumbai Indians. And the second name out of the hat is... Thank you. The England T20 captain, Owen Morgan, is number 3. Number 3 is the next name I offer you, and at 150 lakh to start me for Owen. Thank you. 150 to the Delhi Capitals at 150. Opening bid there for Owen Morgan at 150. 150. Still holding over there for 150 lakh. Thank you, sir. 160 I have with the Kolkata. 170 now. 170. 180 KKR. 190 Delhi. 190. We'd like to go 2. Thank you, sir. 200 lakh. 220. 240 Kolkata. 260 Delhi. 280. 300. 320. 340. 360. 380. 400. And 20. 420, holding with Delhi at the moment. With the Delhi Capitals at 420. KKR, would you like to go 440? At 440, we're back in at 440 with KKR. 460, thank you, Delhi. At 460 now. At 460. KKR, 480 will be next. But at the moment, we're resting with Delhi Capitals. 480 back in. 480, thank you. At 480. Take me to 500, sir. 500. At 500 lakh, 525, at 525, 550, sir, perhaps, at 525 bid. $550, sir. At 525 then, with KKR, ahead of the Delhi Capitals, at 525 lakh. I'm selling with Kolkata Knight Riders. Are you sure? Everyone else in the room? We're going here at 525. Sold there, thank you, KKR. And next out we will go with number 4. No, sorry, it's number 6. Just testing you there. Number 6 I now offer you, which is Robin Uthappa here. Robin, number 6. And 150 again. 150 to start me for Robin Uthappa at 150. 150 lakh, looking for that opening bid. Any interest in the room for Robin? At 150. Thank you, sir. Rajasthan Royals open the bidding at 150. At 150. Still here with the Rajasthan Royals at 150 lakh. Anyone like to go 160? At 150. We're holding with the Royals at 160. Kings 11 Punjab, welcome to you at 160. Thank you, sir. 170. 180. 180 Kings 11. 190 Rajasthan. 200 bid. Would you like 220, sir? 220. 240. 240. With Kings 11 Punjab, not for long, the Royals are back at 260. 260, sir. 280, thank you. At 280 now. 280, we go 300 though, straight away with the Royals at 300 here. 320, no more. Thank you, Kings 11. Back here with the Rajasthan Royals at 300 lakh. And selling for 300, all done everywhere else. For 300 then, we're going to sell for 300 lakh. Rajasthan Royals, 300, thank you very much. And we have now number 7, Hunama Vihari. Number 7, I offer you now. Number 7 at a mere 50. 50 to start the bidding on Mr. Vihari. 50 lakh, please. 50 anywhere. Start me off at 50. And I'll go in 5s. 50 to start, though. I need that opening bid to get the bidding going. At 50. Round the room. At 50. Still looking for 50 for the opening bid. Any further interest? At 50. Any interest at all at 50? Can't tempt you. At 50 lakh. Nowhere else. All done then. No interest at 50. And the sold at 50. Number 4, Cheteshwar Pujara, item number 4, and for Cheteshwar, can we go in again at 50? 50 for Cheteshwar, at 50 lakh. Start me anywhere at 50. 50 start me, at 50. For Mr. Pujara, at 50. looking for 50. Again, and still looking for that opening bid at a mere 50 lakh. Can't tempt you anywhere in the room at 50. Round I look at 50 lakh. No one moving. At 50 then, you remain unsold. At 50 then, are you sure? Last chance. Last chance for Mr. Pujara. No bid on Mr. Pujara.
Jason Roy.
Next we have number 5, Jason Roy. Number 5, Jason Roy. And for Jason Roy, 150. Looking for that opening bid this time of 150 lakh, please. 150 for Jason Roy. Thank you, Delhi Capitals. Opening bid with Delhi Capitals at 150 lakh. 150. Coming in at 160, any other team at 150. There's a bid over there with the Delhi Capitals at 150. Round again at 150 with this opening bid of 150 lakh. Any further bids? 150. All sure? Are you sure? At 150, round the room, last chance for Mr. Roy. We're selling for 150 lakh. Delhi Capitals, all yours. Thank you very much. And by process of elimination, the last one out of the hat is number 1, Aaron Finch. Number 1, Aaron Finch. And again, 100 please to start me for Aaron Finch. 100 lakh is the opening bid I would like to see. At 100. 100 we hit. No, not yet. At 100 for Aaron Finch. 100 please. 100. Round and round I go. Thank you very much. Welcome to RCB. 100 is the opening bid for Aaron Finch. At 100 I have an opening bid and will sell. At 100 lakh. Are you sure at the very back? For 100 there is the bid here. Right beside me. Here. 100. Go 10 if you want. Thank you very much. KKR. 110. 120. 120 back with RCB at 120. Would you like 130, sir? 130 bid. 140 going on at 140. 150. 150, sir. Ahead of you, RCB. 160, continuing. 160. KKR. Would you like 170? It's here at 160 at the moment. At 160. 170. Thank you, sir. 180 though, straight back with RCB. 180 has it, sir. For Mr. Finch. Quick discussion. 190. Good discussion, sir. Thank you. 190. Take me to 200, sir. At 190, holding at 190 with KKR. 200 though. RCB is back. Started the bidding at 200 here. Will they finish the bidding? Not quite yet. 220. At 220, sir. How about 240? $220 lakh for Aaron Finch. 240. Still going with RCB at 240 now, sir. 260 though, KKR. Straight back. 280 RCB at 280. How about 300, sir? 280. RCB has Mr. Finch. Not for long. 300 goes KKR at 300. 320, thank you. 320. RCB. Another discussion. 320. Moving along, sir. At 320 lakh, selling it to RCB at the moment. Go 340. 340, thank you. 340 bid. 340 with KKR at 340. Looking for 360. Been with me all the way, sir? 360, thank you, back in RCB. $360, sir. It happens at auction, sir. Up and up we go. 360 is the holding bid with RCB. I'm going to sell quite soon, sir. 380. Back goes KKR at 380. $380, sir. 400 I'm looking for. Still looking. Still discussing. 400, thank you. 400. Mr. Finch's journey continues at 400 lakh here with RCB. Just ahead of you, KKR. Keeping in 20s. 400 resting at the moment. 420 we move on with KKR. 420 and 40. 440, thank you RCB. 440. Bottom left against top right, no more for KKR, thank you very much. So then we're back with the original bidders, the RCB, and I'm going to sell at 440 for Mr. Finch, 440. Sold to RCB for 40, well done. Thank you very much indeed. So that completes the first set. Thank you, Mr. Patel. And I now would like to welcome Mr. Jerome Chen, CEO of Vivo India, to draw the second set. All-rounders. Welcome to you, Mr. Chen. Thank you. Thank you very much. And the first one out on the second set is number 12, Glenn Maxwell. Number 12, Glenn Maxwell is the first of the all-rounders, and we are offering him at an opening bid of 200 lakh, please. 200 to start the bidding on Mr. Maxwell at 200. 200 lakh. Looking again. 200. Anyone like to come in for Mr. Maxwell at 200 lakh? Thank you, Kings 11. At Kings 11 Punjab, we'll start the bidding at 200. Where do we go from there? At 200 is bid here. 200. Opening bid and selling bid at 200. Coming in anywhere else? Any other team would like to feature? Thank you. Take 220 behind you, sir. 220 Delhi Capitals came in just ahead of you. 240. 240 now. Still back with the Kings 11 Punjab at 240. Take either of you. At 240 here, ahead of you Delhi and ahead of you Rajasthan Royals. 240. 260, thank you Delhi, at 260 to Delhi. 280 Kings 11, at 280 now straight away. Move on to 300, sir. At 280 here, 300 there. 300 has the bid. And 20. At 320, back with Kings 11, straight away Delhi goes 340, 360. Fast and furious now with Kings 11 Punjab at 360. 360 holding. 380, sir? 380, thank you. Go 4, we have 400 bid. At 400 now we have the bid. Still with Kings 11 Punjab. At 400 lakh. 420 goes Delhi. At 420. 420 at the moment. 420, sir. With Delhi Capitals at 420. 440, thank you. 440. 460. Still with Delhi Capitals at 460. Kings 11, 480. 500, thank you, Delhi. 500 bid at 500. 525 will be the next bid. 500. 525, well done, sir, thank you. 525, 550 straight away, though, at 550. 575, 600. 600 now, still with Delhi at 600. For Mr. Maxwell, 600 lakh is the holding bid. Head of you, Kings 11. 600, 625, 625 there. 650 if you like. 625. 650. 650 Delhi. Another 25, 675. How about 700, sir? 675 at the moment. 700 bid. 700 lakh. With Delhi. Ahead of you, Kings 11. 725, I see. Thank you. 725. 750. Delhi goes 750, sir. 750. 775. 775 with Kings 11 Punjab. 800. 800 on bid by Delhi. For Mr. Maxwell. 800 lakh is the holding bid at the moment. 825. Moving on with Kings 11. 825 lakh, sir. Give you time, sir. 850, thank you. 850 lakh. Give you time as well. Serious consideration at 850 at the moment. With Delhi, head of Kings 11 Punjab. Getting the calculators out. $850. $875. 875 lakh is bid by Kings 11. $900 lakh. $900 at the moment. Still with Delhi Capitals. $925. 925. $950. I feel 1,000 coming on, but I need your help, sir. We're at $950 at the moment. $975. There is the help. Now, gentlemen, Delhi Capitals, would you like to go 1,000? Otherwise, Mr. Maxwell will go to Kings 11 Punjab for $975. $1,000 I am bid. 1,000. Back to Delhi Capitals at 1,000 lakh. I'll keep in 25, sir. 1,000 lakh is the winning bid at the moment. For Glenn Maxwell. And 25, 1,025 we have bid by King's 11. For Mr. Maxwell, 1,025 lakh. And 50. 1,050 we move. Still going strong with Delhi Capitals. What do you think, gentlemen? And 75, 1,075 lakh with King's 11. No, are you sure, sir? Thank you for all your hard work, but at the moment, unless you change your mind, gentlemen, Mr. Maxwell will go to King's 11 Punjab at 1,075 lakh. Last chance for you, sir. Anywhere else joining in at this late stage? Sold to King's 11 Punjab. Congratulations. Thank you very much. The next one out is number 15, which is Chris Wokes. Chris Wokes, I offer you now at 150, please. For Mr. Wokes, 150. 150. English all-rounder there, 150. Start me off somewhere, please, at 150. 150. Looking at in the distance and near me at 150 at the moment. Any interest in Mr. Wokes at 150? Looking again, still looking at 150. Any interest for Chris Wokes? Otherwise we move on. Thank you, sir. Delhi Capitals, 150 bid. 150 is the opening bid with Delhi Capitals at 150, and I can sell Mr. Wokes at 150. Are you sure everywhere else? 150 with Delhi Capitals then. Selling. 150. Last chance for other teams to join. 150 with Delhi Capitals. Sold to you, sir. 150. Thank you very much. Delhi Capitals. And the next name out the hat is number 14. Number 14. And that is Yusuf Pathan. Lot number, player number 14. And 100, please. 100. 100 to start me at 100. 100 lakh to start the bidding on Mr. Pathan. 100 anywhere. Opening bid of 100, surely? At 100. Round and round I go. 100, 100. 100 lakh. Are you sure? 100? Anywhere in the room for 100 lakh for Mr. Pathan? Can't tempt you? 100 then? We'll move on. If I don't see a paddle go up fairly soon, at 100, all done 100, no interest. Unsold at 100 without a bid. And now we go to, thank you, and that is number 11. Number 11 is Colin de Grandhomme from New Zealand, player number 11. And 75. 75 is the opening bid, please. 75. Starting bid of 75 lakh. 75 anywhere. Around the room I go at 75. For 75. There we are. Thank you. 75. Colin de Grandhomme now showing on the screens correctly for you. And I'm still looking for 75. 75. Anyway, at 75. Any interest in Colin at 75? And I go nowhere else. 75. No interest? Can't tempt you. 75 then. Unsold at 75. And that takes me to, thank you very much, to number 9. Number 9 is Pat Cummins. Number 9. There we are, on the screens correctly, thank you, gentlemen. Number 9 and 200 for Pat Cummings. 200 to start me, 26-year-old Australian. At 200, thank you, RCB. It's 200 I have, opening bid here, buying bid of 200 lakh. Starting the ball rolling at 200. Anyone continuing? At 200 for Pat Cummins. At 200, there's a bid, 220, thank you Delhi, 220, 240. At 240 here, Delhi goes 260, RCB 280, 300 sir, 300 bid. At 300 with Delhi, 300, 320 RCB, 320, 340, 360, 380, 400, 420, 440, 460, 480, 5 for you sir, 500. 500 with Delhi Capitals at 500 ahead of RCB at 500 at the moment. Thank you, sir. 525. 525 I have now. Back with RCB at 525. Pausing at 525. 550, sir. I have 525. $525. 550. 550 bid. 550. Thank you, Delhi. 550. RCB, your turn. 575 if you want. Mr. Cummins, thank you. 575 I have bid. 575. Can we go to 600 for you, sir? At 575, there is a bid right beside me. 600, thank you. 600 now. At 600. 625. At 625. 625 with RCB. $650. 650. 675. Straight back to RCB. Delhi. 675 at the moment. Need 700 if you wish to continue with Mr. Cummins. Thank you, sir. 700 I have. 700. Back with Delhi Capitals at 700. 725, 750, 775, 800, 825, 850, 875, 900, 925, 950, 975, 1,000. Jamming on the brakes at 1,000 with Delhi Capitals. RCB, would you like to go to 1,025? 1,025 you do. 1,025. $1,025 lakh. 1,050. Delhi Capitals. 1,075. RCB. $1,100. Thank you. 1,100 back with Delhi Capitals. 1,125. RCB. 1,125. 1,150. 1,150 Delhi Capitals. 1,175. For Mr. Cummins, 1,175. 1,200. 12 I have. Thank you, sir. 12 back to Delhi. Another 25. 12.25 RCB. 12.25. RCB holding ahead of you, Delhi, at 12.25 lakh. Would you like to go 12.50? You would. 12.50 I have bid. At 12.50 now. Back with Delhi. Keeping in 25s for you. 12.75. We move on to 12.75. 13 could be lucky. 1,300. Thank you, sir. 1,300 bid. For Pat Cummings, 1,300. 13.25. Still going strong with RCB. $13.25. $13.50. Thank you, Delhi. $13.50. $13.75. RCB. $13.75. I have accepted. 14 will be next, sir. $13.75. 1400. 14 now, sir. With Delhi. $14.25. RCB. $1,425 lakhs, holding with RCB. $14.50 going on, Delhi, thank you. $14.50. $14.50. RCB. $14.75. Bid by RCB. What do we think, Delhi? No more? Thank you again. Back with RCB. It'll please Jane Wandsworth. $14.75 then. I'm selling. Not quite yet. KKR joined the battle after all that hard work. They come in at 1,500 lakh. Some new competition for you, RCB. KKR. Been doing no work at all. Have come in with one bid. $15.25. $15.50. KKR. Thank you very much, gentlemen. But with only two bids, KKR will take Mr. Cummins and bring him home to Calcutta. Any advance? Sold. Thank you very much, sir. KKR, 1,550 lakh. Thank you. And we go back to an English player, number 10, Sam Curran. Sam Curran, I off you know, 21-year-old. How much for Sam Curran? 100 lakh to start me, please. 100 anywhere. 100 for Sam Curran. At 100, we have his correct photograph this year. 100, I'm looking for the opening bid of 100 lakh, please. 100 for Sam Curran. At 100 lakh. At 100. Any bids for Sam this year? At 100 anywhere, please. Start me off. If you want to have Mr. Curran in your team, Delhi, you do. 100 bid. Thank you, sir. 100 opening bid with Delhi. And I will sell if I have to. At 100 holding there with Delhi. At 100. 110. Welcome, CSK. Wonder what you're doing here. There it is. 110 in the middle here. 110 bid by CSK. 120 with Delhi. 130. Thank you, sir. 130 with you. 140 now. 150, 160, 170, 170 holding with CSK at 170 in front ahead with Delhi. 180, sir, 180, thank you. 190 though, straight back to CSK at 190. Here's the bid at 190. Can I tempt you to 200, sir? At 190 now holding. CSK has Mr. Curran at 190 at the moment. 200 any advance for Delhi. 190 it is. 200 I have. Thank you, sir. 220 though. CSK straight back at 220. 240. 260. Still with CSK at 260. Delhi ahead of you. 280, thank you. 300 straight away. 300 still with CSK. 320, 340. Here at 340 CSK, you have it at 340, 360. Thank you, sir. 380, 380 back. 380 CSK, Delhi. 400 perhaps. 380. 400. 420. At 420 for Sam Curran. At 420, pausing at 420 lakh. 440. 460 CSK, 480 Delhi, 500 CSK, 500 for Mr. Curran, 500 lakhs is here. Moving along in 25s, here at 500 though with CSK. $500 and selling. If I have to, it's going to go with CSK, Delhi. One more, 525 I have, sir. 550 with you, though. CSK is strong at 550 lakhs. For Sam Curran, 550. Shaking of heads at Delhi. Need a nod if you want to continue. Otherwise, CSK will have Mr. Curran's services next season. At 550, though. Are you sure, sir? That's a hint. 550. No more, thank you again. But back with you, sir. Well done, CSK. You have Mr. Curran for 550. Sold 550. Thank you very much, CSK. And on with number 13, who is Chris Morris. South African here, number 13. How much for Mr. Morris? 150 is the opening bid I'm looking for today. At 150. 150. Start me off for Mr. Morris at 150 anywhere? 150. Tempted by Mr. Morris, someone? No. 150, thank you. Rajasthan Royals come in at the opening bid of 150 and selling 150 straight in front with the Royals. 160 Kings 11, 170 RCB, 180 Kings 11, 190 RCB, 200 a bid here with Kings 11 at 200 lakhs. Headview Rajasthan, thank you RCB, you go 220. 220 bid, 240, thank you Kings 11. 260 though, RCB at 260, 280 at 280, back at 300. Mr. Morris at 300 at the moment with RCB at 300 lakhs. 320, 320, Kings 11 at 320, 340, 340 I have now. 360, 360, 380. 380. RCB at 380. Kings 11 go 400. 400 is bid. I got 420 straight away with RCB though. 420. 440. At 440 there is the bid. 460. At 460 Kings 11. 480 with you. At 480. 500. 525. 525. Pausing with Kings 11 ahead of RCB at 525 lakhs. Go 550 if you want for Mr. Morris. 550, thank you, bid 550. RCB 550. 550, still holding on my far left. 575 on my far right with Kings 11. We go 600. with RCB. 600 now. How about 625? 600 is the bid. 625 I have bid by Kings 11 at 625, 650 RCB straight back at 650 over here now. RCB has him. 675, 675 lakh. 700 I have. 700. 725. 725 with 750 RCB. 750. Kings 11. Can I go 775 for you? Otherwise, we're here with RCB at 750 lakhs. Thank you, sir. 775. 775. Rounded up. 800 bid. 800. $800 RCB waiting patiently. What does Excel say, sir? 800. Says no. Thank you very much, Kings 11, but we're here with RCB for 800 lakhs for Mr. Morris. Thank you, Mumbai Indians waiting patiently in the distance. And they go to 825. 850, sir. 875. 900. 900 bid by RCB, ahead of you, Mumbai Indians. Thank you, 925. Behind you are the Mumbai Indians at 925, 950 going on in front with RCB at 950. Thank you, sir. 975. 975. Take me to 1,000, sir. Poised. 1,000 bid. 1,000 lakhs. RCB has it, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We're here with RCB and selling. Kings 11, have you changed your mind in the meantime? We're at 1,000. RCB